off the hook here and using face mount 6.0 here just so I can operate hands free and take advantage of this short time that the carb is off the bike. And as you know, just love playing with this little carb here and the little flapper. I'm sure this has a name other than flapper, but that's what I prefer, so that's what I'm calling it. Stage 1 arrived, or I should say stage 2 arrived. I have my new carb coming tomorrow. The jets arrived today, and these were about $10. I got them on Amazon, and I've separated out the mighty 110 jet here. But there's a whole series of jets, and they go from 125 down to, I think, like 85 maybe. But what I did, and that these numbers are so small, I mean, they're just so small. What I did was I lined all of these up and took a picture of them with my phone so I could read the numbers. And that's how I came out with the 110. So pretty sophisticated, I know. And we'll just keep that back in its little holder here till tomorrow when I put that in. But I had the filter out here too, and I was looking at it, and I guess we should talk about this for a second. This isn't clean, I would say, but it isn't really that dirty either. And I guess I'm not absolutely certain how it's supposed to look, and I'm not opposed to replacing it, but it really doesn't look that bad. But I thought, since I had this off, I would consider doing the simple airbox mod that you hear about. Now you can see here the line, and I'll kind of show you with the pin here. You can see this kind of line right here. It's like they deliberately chose not to cut all of that out for some reason, and I don't know why, because it would only increase the airflow, and I really think it would only stand to improve air into the bike. So I started looking online at how people have done this, and I saw, with a Dremel doing that cut, and I started thinking, well, that seems kind of like a lot of work, and I don't have a Dremel, and frankly, if I did, I would have used that to make notches here and unscrew the bowl, and I would have rejet it. So the fact that I didn't, I thought a simplest solution would be something like this, and you can watch with me as I do this here. But I was thinking this is probably equally fast, a lot cleaner, and I bet it works equally well. And I kind of got started here a little bit, but I'll continue. So I'll just get that pretty hot, and then I'll just drive it in here, and it wants to cut pretty easily. You can see I'm kind of cutting right through that. You can see I'm already pulling out that flap. So is a Dremel really necessary when you can just heat that up and go around there? Now I suppose the trick will be trying to make this corner here, and I guess I'll try it from this side. I'm going to go ahead and heat the blade up again, and I'll try from this side. I'm going to try to scoop all the way around. But when you consider, how little work this is, it seems like a much neater and cleaner solution, and a lot less dangerous. And of course, since I don't have a Dremel, it's not like I have a lot of choice. I mean, this is kind of what I'm forced to deal with here. Not forced to, but choosing to. So let's see if I can go around the corner here. And I seem to be making progress here around the corner. And come all the way over here. And let's see if I can't pry that piece right out. So just that fast, I've gone ahead and modified the air intake on the Hawk, and you can see how different that is. And that came right off, and no need to sand or anything. It made a really nice cut here. So I'm going to go ahead and try to do the other side. And we'll just kind of keep going. I'm not using the microphone within the helmet, so the audio might be a little bit different. But frankly, I've done a couple videos out on the bike when I wasn't going very fast. And when I did the videos, I had forgotten to plug in the earbuds. So I was operating from the kind of raw state of from the just the regular phone, and actually the sound quality was just fine, no problem at all. So we'll keep heating this up here, but I mean you guys are just watching me do this entire airbox a mod here, and it really seems kind of silly to do anything else when you look at how neat and clean this is. Of course I haven't finished this yet, so I mean I don't want to start celebrating too soon, but you can see that it's going to be difficult for this airbox to withstand the awesome power that I'm laying down here, and that came right off. So really that's it, and I can do a little trimming here now that I've kind of got it open. I can do a little bit of shaving and taking a little bit extra off, just to eliminate any extra turbulence that might cause, but I really think that's pretty minor. But a nice compliment to doing the carb here. Now I can go ahead and put the air cleaner back on and kind of just take care of that tonight. And then tomorrow, I'll just pop off the bowl on the new carb and throw in good old 110 jet. And I've got such a clean airbox mod here already done. We'll consider that in lieu of expensive air cleaner thing, because I just don't want to do that. So, or I don't want to spend the money on that. I mean, like a K&N filter would end up costing twice as much as brand new Hawk Carb 2.0. And, really, I kind of feel like I'm getting ripped off. And I think this airbox mod is probably give me as much airflow or whatever as anything else I may have done with the filter, and obviously that was free, and you watch me do the whole thing fairly easily. And again, great credit to Video Mount 6.0 on my face that I'm able to use both hands to do that. So kind of scuffed up the blade here a little bit, nothing too severe. But there's a quick airbox mod, and I must say, I guess I kind of like the way I did this as opposed to seeing some of the other ways it was done. And I think this is a lot safer, cleaner, faster, and it kind of eliminates the need to do any sanding off any burrs or anything like that, because obviously a razor edge is fairly smooth. So yeah, very happy with that. And actually, I until tonight when I got home, and all I had were my jets to play with, and that's certainly not enough. I thought, well, what else can I do? I kind of spent the day thinking I'd replace this, and then I forgot when I got home. I thought, geez, I didn't stop at the auto parts store to get this replacement, and now I'm wondering if they would even have the right size anyway, and perhaps they would, but in any event, I had this on the brain, and I was starting to look at prices of high-flow air filters, and guys, I just wasn't impressed. So I decided, you know what? Let's do the long overdue airbox modification, and we'll call that success. So with that, looking forward to messing around with Carb 2.0 tomorrow night. But for now, we'll leave you with a shot of clear airbox mod, taking off these really peculiar flaps, and you can see, I mean, it's almost a 50% volume difference with that off. I really can't explain why they would do such a thing unless the volume coming in here is really not that significant, and maybe it has more to do with this. I mean, I guess a space like this is still bringing in fairly significant air, and maybe this isn't going to make a big difference because the filter's the bigger deal, but it just seems so obvious, and as a modification, hey, it's something I can do, and it didn't cost anything. So until I get to play with you little jets in second Carb, and before this Carb takes its rightful place in Hulk Museum downstairs in the Expo Center, well, hey, it's all I could do for this evening. So with that, we will leave it here till tomorrow night, and at that time we'll get down to some serious business and get this poor Hawk up and running again, because as we say all the time, we do it all for the Hawk, and you can never overstate that or state it enough. There's never enough burnishing of the Hawk's image, likeness, legend, you name it. The Hawk deserves it, and we're going to do right by our Hawk. So we'll see you next time, and we'll get ready to bring the Hawk back to life right here.